And you have just crossed the line. End of debate. Report to the cargo bay and remain there until this is over. Is that understood?
Can I tell you guys a secret?
Yeah.
Please.
Don't you remember I remember
Challenge.
being in junior high school and knowing those kids that could beatbox.
Yeah.
I was
You get retired.
Oh no, I was jealous.
I was too. I learned how to do it.
Yeah, I wanted to do it. I also knew a guy that could flip his eyelid inside out. You know how people
Oh
do that?
yeah, Matinga can do that, can't you?
I can't do that. No.
That's a
Oh,
side
neither
effect of having webbed feet.
Yes. A side effect that did never happen for me, unfortunately.
Exactly. Hello, guys. We are here to do a podcast.
My
are we not?
mic is
We
in it.
sure are.
What's wrong, girl? What?
Oh, my mic in? I gotta put my mic in.
Oh, hello.
My mic don't sound nice.
Your mic don't
Check
sound like
one.
anything,
Check
girl. It ain't plugged
one.
in.
Motherfuckers.
Check song. I don't know how I feel about these glasses.
I think you look cute.
I think I look old. I think I look real.
I think you look like Lily Tomlin.
Honey, if you think a pair of glasses is gonna make you look young.
Oh, now her mic is in, so she can read. Hey, yo, did you ever see that skit with Lily Tomlin and Richard Pryor? And she works in a diner, and he's a junkie. He's a heroin addict. Oh, it's so good. And I think Alan Alda's in it. I think it's called June and something, June bug and something. It's really good.
No, but there is a joke by Richard Pryor that's really silly and makes me laugh. He says he was on the corner trying to pick up a cab, and the cab stopped and looked out the window and said, "You gonna give me a tip?" And he said, "I'll tip your fucking cab over."
Well, let's not feed into the angry black drug addict trope, shall we? I mean, Booby's right here.
Hello.
Too late.
Too late. That is a funny joke, though. What's that Red Fox joke? Actually, Jabba told me, and it ends with, I don't remember the setup, but it ends with, "Wouldn't I, pussy face?"
No.
I don't.
I don't know. But he also has one about women who like now there's all these different scented douches. There's raspberry, there's strawberry, tuna.
Ugh. That sounds like the beginning of a Star Trek podcast.
Sure
Are we doing
does.
wait, we can't. That's a little bit too hot, don't you think?
It's hot enough to get it jumping, girl. So, Miss Thing, put your microphone in its proper place. No, not right in front of your mouth because you're loud.
Oh, you want me to put it in the stand? But I thought you couldn't hear me.
No. Booby, how is it sounding to you?
Kind of loud.
Kind of loud, girl. So,
Just a little loud.
keep it backed up a little bit. You have big lungs, which is also a side effect of webbed feet.
No, I'm a loud queen. I know that.
I'm trying to be diplomatic. That's how I do. That's what Starfleet taught me, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you hear me?
That's
Yes.
actually, yeah, that's good. Does it have to
Okay.
be in the shot?
I'm trying to give you a little visual interest, bitch.
Well, our microphones are in the shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we're holding them.
That's true.
but that's neither here nor there.
Let's not fight. That's not the Starfleet way, darling.
Well,
And this is a Star Trek podcast. Hello, listeners and viewers. This is Fire Chakotay, the most fantastic Star Trek podcast in the Delta Quadrant. I am Mike Diamond.
I am Miss Matinga.
And I'm Booby.
Hello, hello. And today we are doing another double dip episode of Fire Chakotay where we talk about two episodes of Voyager.
That is correct, kids. Today we are discussing the 2 Voyager episodes, Cold Fire and Maneuvers.
Cold Fire and Maneuvers, season 2 episodes. Yes.
Which episodes are they?
Cold Fire
Number?
and Maneuvers.
You mean
numerical?
numerical?
Numerical.
Numerical?
Numerical bubbles.
Because they follow each other. They're directly
Yeah,
right
one is
the
after
other.
the other.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the number, though.
Let's look that up.
I'm going to say 10 and 11.
That's what it feels like to me, too.
I'm when
There are
something feels
28 episodes in this season, aren't there?
Oh, gag, right?
Are there really? They're 28,
Yeah.
not 26?
26 or 28.
You know,
I mean, we
a
could look it up
season
if you want to.
a season used to be 26 episodes. Now, honey, a season is 6 episodes, and you better be fucking happy with that.
Yeah.
6 to 8 episodes.
And that's
What-
it.
What was it like in the 70s and 80s, girl?
I don't know.
Why don't you ask yourself?
Excuse you. Wait, I'm sorry. I had to take a picture to text to somebody who was trying to get my attention. Okay, let's get into it. So,
Cold Fire.
the first episode, yes, Booby, that we are going to talk about is Cold Fire. And I believe this was Matinga's suggestion.
Yes, ladies.
Okay, girl, set it up. What is Cold Fire?
So, Cold Fire, Voyager has been lost in the Delta Quadrant for 10 months now, after being taken to the Delta Quadrant by the caretaker. And they are trying to get back home, but the caretaker, before he passes in the first episode, mentions that he did have a mate that wandered off a couple centuries beforehand to explore the galaxy. Now, mind you, since the caretaker drags Voyager across the galaxy, one of their best bets is to find the caretaker's mate, because
To get
perhaps
home.
she has the technology maybe to get them home.
Okay.
So they happen to, so that's kind of what this episode's about. They come upon the caretaker's mate, whose name I had forgotten. It's Suspiria.
I came upon somebody's mate once.
Oh,
Thank God they weren't
trust.
home.
I think I was in the next room, girl.
Hey.
Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum-bum. Ba-dum-bum. Ba-dum-bum. Ba-dum-bum.
What is that?
That's Andy Griffith. That's copyrighted. We might get bumped. Okay,
Oh.
so no, we won't actually. Okay, so yes, that is exactly what this is about. And the episode starts where?
It actually opens with Kes and Tuvok in Tuvok's quarters, and Tuvok is teaching Kes to control her
That's right, that's
telepathy, telekinesis.
Right,
That's right.
because Tuvok also has some kind of Vulcan telepathy, and Cass
Right.
clearly, the Ocampans have some sort of telepathic ability also.
Right.
All
He's-
Vulcans have some kind of telepathy.
So he's kind of being like Yoda to her Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
And they're making a little bit of headway, you know.
He hears the voices of the crew in her head. And at one point, Tuvok asks her to listen carefully to just one of the voices, and she hears Neelix getting a haircut. And she giggles, and Tuvok finds it annoying that she's giggling, and it's emotional outburst, and she's just, a little annoyed that Tuvok's annoyed.
Well, because she also picks up, she hears Harry Kim talking to himself and saying, "Why am I the most boring person on the ship?"
But I've got the good hair.
Really kikis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust.
So she
Right.
hears Neelix out of the, out of the needle out of the haystack, and she
Right.
giggles, and Tuvok is like, "You can go now.
Literally.
Yeah, you may go. Like, if you're
Yeah.
not going to take this seriously,
Bye.
bye, little telepathic chick. Out. You out."
And that's when she goes to the doctors, to the medical lab.
And that's when she goes to sickbay.
Right. And she explains to the doctor why she's late, and he's about to reprimand her and tell her, well, I would appreciate it if you, and just as he's about to reprimand her, there's a vibrating sound, a resonating sound, and they both go to where they hear it emanating from, and it's the caretaker's remains, crystallized.
What's that?
I don't know.
Which looks like a big chunk of
Lava stone.
well, like cheap amethyst that you buy like in Tucson or something.
Right.
Just looks fun.
It looks very amethyst.
Right.
Like in a
It
witchcraft
really
store.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you'd get it at enchantments or something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it starts shaking and carrying on,
Yeah.
and they do
And
a
what-
little.
And what's happening is that it is vibrating because it is sensitive to being somewhere in close proximity to the living caretaker.
To another sporocystian life form.
That's correct.
And yeah.
That's correct. By the way, the caretaker species, they're called the Nacine.
Right.
Interesting.
They
Very
thought was
good.
sort of weird, right?
right.
And so, but at first they don't know what's happening. They're like, "What the hell?" and blah blah blah. They do a little bit of investigation, and they track that signal to yet another caretaker's array. Except this array is filled. I mean, possibly with thousands of Ocampa.
right.
It's smaller.
This
It is a
array,
little smaller.
It's known as the Sporcystine Chapel.
The Sporcystine
Yeah.
Chapel.
And I'm
Yes.
Dun, 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 wah, wah. So yes, so they find this array with all these Oquamptons up on it.
Right.
In fact, they have named the array Oquampton.
Oquampton, right?
Oquampton.
See you wimpy to your win. So one of the Oquamptons gets on the view screen and is like, "You're not wanted here.
You're not wanted here.
I'm Captain Catherine Janeway.
You have been warned.
Go away.
Y'all need to turn around." And Janeway's like, "Really? Because we got no Oquampin." And Kes steps out and sort of like negotiates.
Says, hey.
Hey.
But I want you to, if you go back and watch it, so the captain has Kes assist and brings her up to the bridge to speak to this Ocampin. But Kes is, of course, nervous. She is, she's not an officer. She's not trained in first
Diplomacy.
contact. But this is another Ocampin. She's not diplomacy. But Catherine has faith in her. And watch Kate Mulgrew's performance just over Kes's shoulder as Kes is talking to this Ocampin. Just with her face, like she shows trust, admiration. In Kes, it's acting
Nuances.
with just like the nuance of a shrug of a shoulder. I'm just so obsessed with Kate Mulgrew.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Obsessed with her. I'm
She's
living.
she's fantastic. She's always consistently fantastic on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when the show was not consistently great, she was consistently great.
You ever see her on Cheers? She was in an episode of Cheers.
No.
Yeah, I saw there was just a quick snapshot of cameos that stars who became stars made back when they weren't so starring, and she was in an episode of Cheers as a sex goddess, like a bomb, like
How'd
a
she look?
bomb show. She looked fab.
Was she dressed as an uptight governess?
She was yes, she was
Strangely, and yet still to bomb.
Yeah.
still the bomb.
Still to bomb. Speaking of bombs, so Voyager is talking to the people on this array. I believe a warning shot is fired. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes. Which kind of just bounces off of
The shield.
the shields.
Mhm.
And so I think it was an interesting way how they kept the budget low, because they're like, can we beam over and speak to you? But he's saying, oh, there's thousands of Ocampa here. There's nature, there's life, but because he's dissing Voyager, because eventually he does beam over to Voyager, and he's like, no, but I'll beam over to you. And I was like, that's because you don't have the budget
Right.
to give me an Ocampan satellite. But he beams over to Voyager, but he wants to speak to Kes exclusively,
Which he tells her telepathically.
which I think is shady.
During the senior meeting,
Yeah.
staff meeting.
But it's shady, but if you could do it, wouldn't you? I would.
Yes.
Get them out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you.
I mean, literally, I gagged because he's like, get this redheaded bitch out of here.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, give me a second.
Right. And
Hold
so
up.
this Oquampton's name is Tanis?
Tanis.
Tanis.
Yes.
So then the story takes off from there, where Tanis and Kes have this connection because they're both Ocampans. She doesn't know any other ones.
He's 14,
He's
which
14.
is old for an Ocampan.
Gags because
That's super old for an
the oldest
Ocampan.
one was like 9 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
The oldest one was 9, and they go into the hydroponics bay, and he proceeds to turn her out with the force of his magic.
Well, he is explaining to her that her abilities are far greater than she realizes, and that he can assist her in making those abilities come to their full fruition. She's like, show me. And so he makes all the plants in the arboretum and hydroponics bay suddenly burst into life and grow. And it's really kind of impressive.
And she's like, oh my God, look at the size of that Leola root.
Trust. That's the biggest Leola root I've ever seen.
Leola root emoji.
Trust. Honey, Leola root Fridays.
Hello.
I'm gonna start that. Let me
I
start
think you
that.
should. Hashtag.
Yeah. And of course, right away, he's giving off a smarmy, negative energy that
Kind of like the top knot guy in
very much like the top knot guy.
Right.
Except I would do Tanis, and I wouldn't have done the top knot guy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't have done Top Knot Dude. I don't think I would do Tanis either. I think he was a much better actor than Top Knot Guy. But Tanis's forehead was so big, it was distracting to me.
Oh, but he was serving face.
And 5 head. Like,
Yes.
that was a big brow.
So it would seem that Voyager is gaining a reputation in the Delta Quadrant for being a violent,
Violent.
aggressive, dangerous vessel, which is completely untrue.
Your ship is known as a ship of death.
What?
You've established quite a reputation. You killed the caretaker, declared war on the Kazon, raided planets for their resources.
None of that is true.
The ship of death, because these
The ship of
Ocampans
death are spreading these lies.
Well, no, but they think that Voyager was responsible for killing the original caretaker.
And destroying the array.
And what is the connection between this other caretaker who lives in some kind of like subspace dimension,
Correct.
Yes.
the Ethereum,
Exotia.
The
Exotia?
Exotia. By the way, Exotia is the hottest gay club in the Delta Quadrant.
I was supposed to
Exotia.
say
Girl,
she's the hottest.
Saturdays at Exotia? What?
Okay.
And they were also a famous Puerto Rican house.
The House of Exotia.
Exotia. Yes.
Exotia.
So Miss Caretaker 2 is out there she's hanging out at Club Exotia.
Right.
But she has a connection with the Ocampan on this array. They've been there for hundreds of years. I don't remember how they got there or what their connection is to her.
She's extended their lifespans.
Okay,
or taught
right.
them
That's
to
how
do
he's
that.
14, and maybe boosted their power, and that's how he's able to do all these, parlor tricks.
Right.
Right.
But so he takes it upon himself to start training Cass in his telepathic ways, get down to the molecular level, and make shit happen. And
Right.
she kind of goes off the chain with it. And in that same hydroponics bay where he made the plants bloom and grow ferociously, she burns them to a crisp.
But you fast forwarded because he teaches her in the mess hall how to move things with her mind, and then how to boil tea.
How to boil coffee,
And
right?
Right. How to boil the tea and how to boil that coffee.
There is no liquid. There is no cup. There's only a collection of molecules and atoms, moving, vibrating.
But later in the hydroponics bay, she absorbs the life of all the plants, but thereby killing them. But while she does it, not only does she do a true ballroom death drop, like a true ballroom death drop.
Exotia.
Exotia. She clearly has an orgasm.
And
She clearly has an orgasm.
She exhibits the powers of the phoenix.
Yeah.
She wasn't looking beautiful tonight.
So she goes to show Tuvok, who is training her to harness her mental abilities.
Wait,
this
let's
new
back up for
trick.
1 second.
Yeah,
So she's into it. She's into having these new powers.
and they want
And-
her. They want to
and-
take her.
Tanis is telling her, you got to leave these people behind. They ain't doing shit for you.
They're beneath you.
And she's like, no, they're kind, they're great. And he's like, you're going to view them as pets. Get into your power.
They're not my pets.
They're not my pets. Well, maybe Neelix.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, mostly.
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 Exotia.
Neelix comes at night. Mostly.
Mostly.
Ew. Ew.
So she goes to show Tuvok her new trick, who is kind of like becoming her mentor, the doctor and Tuvok. And she's heating up the tea in the cup, but she loses control.
And the cup explodes.
The cup explodes and the room heats up. And in a very rare horror beat for Voyager,
Yeah.
she turns Tuvok out. And I actually thought the makeup was really effective. I was like, oh shit.
His eyes went Sith yellow.
Yeah.
And he had
and
like the green blood.
I thought she,
Pulsating
she
boils.
thought she killed him. Yeah, she almost boiled him to death. Like a
He
Leola
looked-
root.
He looked like, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of this movie. Matenga, do you remember we talked about, it was one of those Giallo films in a theater? What the fuck was,
Oh, demons?
yes, he looked like an extra from Demons.
Right.
A little
yeah.
bit. But I think that when she's like in the molecular level and losing control and she reaches out to Tuvok for help,
Right.
That's
I
when
think
she
her,
boils him.
her thinking about him boiled him.
Right.
Right, because it's not focus. It's not focus on the object. It's focus on the task, and that's how she's
Right.
able to use her powers.
Right. I thought it was
She had lost control and shit.
but miraculously, next scene, he's in sickbay, completely fine.
Because the
the doctor.
I'm sorry, but if somebody like fucking boils you, you're not okay after a trip to sick bay.
No. No.
And I
Well-
know Vulcans can heal and all this, you know. And
But the doctor said that's a testament to the doctor, how good he is.
it's a testament to the writer's room, honey. So
But
he's
it's also very Star Trek.
right. And so he's fine-ish. And then Kes
Ish.
feels really bad, but that doesn't stop her from keeping on playing.
Right.
Her
And
powers.
keep on pushing because she wants to learn.
Right. Meanwhile, the rest of the ship, they're trying to get these Ocampans to hook them up with Suspiria, the other caretaker.
Love the name.
Suspiria.
Suspiria Exotia.
Exactly.
He's the mother of the house.
Like, she is the mother of the house.
It is.
Of all the names they could pick, somebody clearly on the writer's room was a horror fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suspiria is a horror film.
It's a horror film.
It's a giallo film by Dario Argento, by the
There's
same
some
guy that did
horror
Demons.
beats, you know, in this.
A couple horror beats.
So they're trying to find Miss Honey called Suspiria. They're trying to find
Suspiria.
her. Okay, they're trying to find Suspiria, who's off in the Exotia.
Who's off in Exotia, which is like some other dimensional layer.
Right. And Tanis is like really pressuring Kes to come with him back to the station and, you know, embrace the power of the Force and what have you. And this is happening at one point in the dining hall. And Neelix is like, bitch, you better step away from my woman. And Tanis takes and throws him across the room.
With his mind.
With his mind.
Yeah.
Criminal
Tanis-
minded.
He says,
He is
"Mind
criminal
you."
minded.
Criminal minded.
He's actually trying to forcibly take her
Right.
at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
So of course, she fights back and she
Right.
kind of turns him lovely.
She does turn him lovely.
This is during a pitched battle with Suspiria herself. They go to meet her in some place in space.
Like, in space, but doesn't she end up in the engine room?
In engineering.
Right.
Engineering.
Because she is also mistakenly assuming that Voyager killed the caretaker and destroyed its array.
Her lover.
Her
Yes.
lover. So she slithers into engineering. Kind
Very,
of like a squid,
very Terminator.
very
Yeah.
Terminator. But then when
She manifests.
she manifests in a form that they can see, she looks kind of like Holly Hobby, sort of.
Or Bad Seedy. I think they were trying to do a Bad Seed sort of feeling.
Right.
She's a little girl in a long dress. She looks kind of like
Nellie Olson.
a little bit Nellie Olson, a little bit Holly Hobby. What's the obsession with 6-year-old girls? Because like Kes is a little girl, Suspiria is a little girl.
Tanis is only 14.
Tanis is 14. So Janeway goes to confront or talk to Suspiria about, hey, maybe bitch, can you send us home? And Suspiria's like, whore, you killed my man. And then Catherine's like, what? And there's blood on her shoulder. And she looks up and Tuvok and B'Elanna are pressed up
floating.
against the ceiling.
Yep.
Floating. Because another horror beat, Suspiria flung them to the ceiling. And Janeway's like, bitch, it's on. She takes off her earrings.
Right. She grabs the
And
Vaseline.
her nose ring.
Then her nose ring.
She grabs the Vaseline. She wipes them on the ear and the neck.
She's like, open the airlock, catch me outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
Now-
she's gagging.
Now, unlike we didn't mention this, but earlier on in the episode, the Doctor as well as Tuvok figure out a little preemptive measure of not an attack, but a way of subduing that type of life form.
The Sporocystian life form.
Life forms.
Just in case she
Right.
decided
She
to
gets
get shady. Yeah.
Right.
And she got shady.
Right.
Decides to get shady. So Miss Catherine, after something makes the caretaker drop them for some reason. What was that? Oh, it was Kes attacking Tanis.
Yes. She felt his pain.
Because all the Acampa are connected, the ones that are with her.
Right.
And so Miss Catherine, very, Sigourney Weaver in Aliens, grabs like this big pistol, shoots her, and subdues the alien. And that's when we decide to have a talk now.
At that point.
Right. Now she wants to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like, bitch. I don't know. I thought someone else was going to pick up the thread. I don't know. I thought someone was going to pick up the thread.
Well, either one of those characters could have been like, bitch. Honey,
I think both of the characters were like, bitch.
That's what they were thinking.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, no, I'll mention this later. Go on.
Yeah. So, Catherine, like I know her.
Catherine.
So the captain shoots her with the sporcystine drama.
Yeah.
And then the little girls, the Suspiria, is like, you killed my man. What up? And the captain's like, no, he didn't. It was the end of his life. Or Tuvok says that.
Right.
And the captain's like, gonna let her live. She could blast her again and end her.
She could.
But
she would never.
Suspiria's like, you would show me mercy after what I've done? And Janeway's like,
I would.
I would, because that's the Starfleet way.
Yeah.
And then,
but then rather showing compassion and mercy back
and sending them home,
she just books with her people.
Right. She just disappears.
With tennis.
Yeah. I'm like, bitch.
And what happened to the rest of the Ocampans?
Never saw them.
You never saw them, but they're on the array.
What happens to the array? Does it ever get resolved?
The Voyager just keeps on going, because without the caretaker, the array is useless.
So when Suspiria goes back up into Club Exotia, Cass's powers diminish back to what they were, and I guess all these Ocampans too lose all their special abilities.
Maybe.
Right?
That's a big supposition.
It is a supposition.
I'm all about suppositories.
I'm all about opium suppositories.
Does Kess powers diminish, or
Yeah.
does she just not, because she doesn't have the proper guidance, know how to really make the tea boil?
They die down a little bit, but the power's there, and
we're gonna see it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
It's there, but it comes back down, and then So Voyager's going on its way and being like, well, fuck it, the caretaker's gone, whatever. I guess we'll run into her again, but they don't. And fuck all these Ocampans. We're just not going to deal with them. We're just going to fly away.
Yeah,
and
just leave them.
Kess and Tuvok resume their lessons, and Kess is a little bit surprised and touched that Tuvok is willing to do this.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, she boiled him.
And the episode ends with like just this moment of her and him in Tuvok's room, and he's still teaching her.
Kind of where they started.
Right. And
exactly.
You know what? It's like, go on, Catherine, with your compassion and your smarts and your high moral values. Mm-hmm. They didn't serve her, but in this particular episode anyway. But like, go on, girl. I swear to God that like part of my emotional and moral makeup comes from Star Trek, because it's so humanist. And I've been watching it my entire life, that through osmosis, I've just absorbed like that, like, because I consider myself a humanist, and like all those things, compassion and mercy and science.
And Groucho Marx eyebrows.
And those Groucho Marx eyebrows, girl. I'm telling you, like, go to that scene and grab a picture, because it's so rough. So kind of like, I'm not sure where this episode goes, but it wraps up the caretaker storyline. Now they're truly alone.
It wraps it up. The writers do leave a little window, because the caretaker's still alive. They do leave that device at hand if they need it. Right, but they don't really use it ever.
But they never end up using it, yeah.
So the episode comes full circle. The only thing we really get out of this is a sort of resolution to the caretaker thing, and the knowledge that, Cass got some crazy powers,
She got some crazy powers.
I would give Cold Fire, I'm going to give it 2.5 fire Chakotays.
Okay. I give it 3.
Why?
Because I just love Cass's character.
I love Cass.
See, I'm only giving it a 2.5 because I also love Cass, and I do like all the, carrying, which, I can move shit with my mind and I can make stuff boil. Narratively, so many plot holes and ugh. But I'll give it 2.5 for Cass, and for Captain Catherine.
Captain Catherine.
And because they had the audacity to call somebody Suspiria?
Suspiria. Suspiria, by the way, means to breathe, to sigh deeply. I had no idea. That is Suspiria. Yeah.
How many fire Chakotays do you give it?
I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying this go around.
Right?
I'm so enjoying this go around. And I like even the episodes that are tired, I'm like enjoying them. And I think this one was middling to fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like exploring Cass. I'm gonna give it 2.5 Leola.
Okay. 2.5 Leola roots?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's we're averaging about a Booby. What are you giving this?
He gave it a 3.
3.
So that average out to
2.75, right?
2.75.
So 2 and 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7, and 2 of the halves is 8, divided by 3. So anyway, I am also really enjoying the rewatch. I have only skipped over a couple. I could tell you that I watched half of the one where Harry Kim wakes up in San Francisco, and
I bored me to tears.
I couldn't do that one.
I was like,
because I know that one.
I had it on in the background, and I was like, nah. The other one I skipped, I think it's called Tattoo, where Chakotay is having flashbacks of his dad.
Right. That was not bad. It was great.
When they go deep into the Dreamcatcher, Navajo thing with, nah. I ain't Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, honey. This ain't the frontier, okay?
It's no maneuvers.
I'm Dr. Quim Medicine Woman.
You're Dr. Quim.
I'm
That's
Dr.
right.
Quigley.
Dr. Quigley,
Medicine Ball.
darling. That's medicine ball, darling. So that is Cold Fire from season 2.
That's right.
Let's move on to the next one we're going to cover.
Maneuvers.
Okay. So the next episode is called Maneuvers. It is the episode that directly follows the episode that we just reviewed.
Yeah.
And this is a very Kazon heavy episode.
Yep.
And I just want to point out again that hair.
Are they born with it, or is it adornments?
I was thinking, is it adornment? Is it a hat? Because
are those burnt charcoals? Is it Brillo? Is it dried dog feces?
Are those are those plantain
Is
chips?
it real or is it Memorex?
Or is it Memorex, darling? Maybe it's Maybelline.
I want to see if it's real. Let me touch it. Can I see if it's real?
Yo, those are some busted wigs.
Yeah.
Looking all dusty,
and yet it works with their evil hearts.
Well, because they dry too. They dry. So the Kazons, to refresh everyone's memories, are the Michael Jackson scarecrow from the Wiz looking things from episode 1. So Maneuvers, episode 11, we think, opens with
B'Elanna and Chakotay in a turbo lift. This isn't super important, but it does open with this particular scene. They were having like some kind of competition. Like
were they playing?
They were playing Domjot
hoverball.
Hoverball. What's the other stupid Star Trek game? Parisi Squares. There's all these games on Star Trek. So and B'Elanna loses.
They're being a little flirty, I think.
Slightly, yes.
I had you right where I wanted you.
What are you talking about? I was ahead. 19-7.
I was just lulling you into a false sense of security.
Sure you were.
I'll win the next couple of points, then you'll start to tense up.
I do not tense up.
I think they're more being
because they're
fun.
They're off duty.
And I want to say, I love Chakotay's shirt.
No, girl. We're going to get it. No, hang on.
I loved it.
Pause the turbo lift. We got to talk about what they're wearing. First of all, B'Elanna is wearing a fucking 99-cent Thanksgiving Day tablecloth, okay?
From the dollar store.
What is with that autumnal mess she's in? And Chakotay is wearing sort of a sage green swath of industrial carpet. I was not feeling it.
A sage green, semi off the shoulder, kind of knit sweater.
Zips up the back, no bones.
I thought it was so lovely. I would wear it.
I'm sure it had knits.
Honey, I would wear it today.
But that's their exercise clothing?
Yeah.
A tablecloth and a carpet swatch.
I don't know. I think you're being too harsh. I thought it was really good.
I'm sorry it took me there.
They're interrupted
Listen,
by the
Andre Leon Talley.
I know! Ale Kazon Talley.
Hello.
Honey.
Hello. I want to read his new book, by the way, even though I can't take her. But go on. So they get off the turbo lift and they're on the bridge.
And now they're on the bridge. Clearly, they've been
They're
summoned.
summoned. Yes.
They've been summoned to the bridge.
Correct.
And when they get to the bridge, it turns out that they have discovered a Federation beacon sending out a call. And this beacon, the security on this beacon was not supposed to be released until a month after Voyager disappears. So they think, oh my God, did the Federation send this beacon through the Bajoran wormhole to like try and find us? Or
were they partying at Club Exotia?
Were they partying at Club Exotia? And they were like, yo, you know, you got a ship lost in the Delta Quadrant. But like, they're hopeful. They're like, what if this is a signal from home? So of course they are investigating. But Catherine is cautious. She's like, I hear you guys, let's examine this. But she's like, let's see what's happening here. Careful. Like I said to my first boyfriend when he tried to stick that finger in my booty. Be careful, doll. I know you're gonna cut that.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm nasty.
Your lies are welcome here.
Thank you.
Try.
What do you mean lies?
Tried to stick his finger in. Girl, you.
Right. I said, careful. Don't stick that finger in unless you intend to. Ring. Exactly. You'll lose it. Honey, you'll lose that kid.
Next thing you know, he's giving you a pancreas massage, girl.
Trust.
But enough about the 60s. So they're on the bridge.
Okay. So they go to investigate, and what is actually going on is that the Kazon Nistrum has
which is the house of Nistrum.
The house of Nistrum. Kazon Nistrum. Kazon Nistrum. Kazon Nistrum.
Honey, I'm Oglamar, darling.
Trust.
I'm Hogai, Miss Lee.
Girl, you're Kukla Fran and Ollie.
I'll take that.
The house of Kukla Fran and Ollie.
I'll take that.
So they go, but what has happened is that the Kazon Nistrum has made a beacon appear to seem like it is a Federation beacon. But how have they been able to do this? Because of that Cardassian bitch, Seska. Seska, damn it.
But before we find out that Seska's behind this madness, they basically, they stage a raid on Voyager.
A pitched battle. And Voyager gets turned out.
They get turned out. A hole in the security membrane.
Kazon crashes a shuttle into Voyager.
Yep.
Into the ship.
Into the ship, missing. A smatter of matter.
A smatter of matter. They crash. They snatch a transporter module. They out. They gone. And then Seska appears on camera.
And she has given them. Miss Seska's given them the inside on how to make this plan work. Because now she is the piece of Maj Kala of the Nistrum.
Right.
So and explain what piece is, Miss Ming.
She is his concubine.
She's she's kind of like a gangster's mall.
Yeah.
But for real, she's running shit.
But he gets tough on her.
Yeah. But
you're just a woman.
You're just a woman. She plays him, but she appears on the view screen after they snatch the transporter, really just to taunt Chakotay.
Hello, Chakotay.
I should have known you were involved.
Yes, you should have.
And mind you, they're wounded because this is a Federation ship that just got pulled like first-year cadets. Turned out.
And then the Kazon disappear, and the captain is pissed.
Yeah.
She's pissed at Tuvok.
And I love the dressing down that she gives Tuvok while they're walking in the corridor.
Right.
Once again, like you said, she doesn't raise her voice.
Right.
But she like the way she talks to him, she's serious. She's like, I want a review of every security protocol. He's like, this will not happen again. And she's like, it better not.
She's like, see that it doesn't.
See that it doesn't.
Right.
Like she's like, when she needs to be the captain.
She's the captain.
She's the captain. She's like,
she's Captain Crunchy, honey.
Crunchy.
So she's pissed at Tuvok because of the security lapses. And by the way, if the Kazon materialized on your ship, why are you going to show up with only 2 security guards, Tuvok? And,
exactly.
And you're going to warn them. Shoot the motherfuckers. So
that's
anyway,
not the Starfleet way.
Well, then you just got mopped. Okay.
Also, you can't just theorize that it's just him. There's probably multiple security, people like
They got
running around the
fleet.
ship.
They got fleet.
I didn't see him, but we didn't see the Ocampa on the station in the last episode either.
Yo, they got turned out by the bus and truck company of the Wiz. Okay.
Oh my God!
They got
yes! They did.
You
Everybody
can't
look around,
win, honey.
because there's a feeling just for you and me.
You can't win.
Everybody
Girl.
look around, because I'm about to take this ecstasy.
So Exosha, they ease on down the road with the technology, but Seska leaves a warp trail because she wants to be found. And
Right.
Chakotay is feeling wanted. And let me also say, looking real hot.
Oh
yes,
my God.
I must agree.
So hot.
Honey, Chakotay, he's looking good.
Chakotay.
Chakotay, my
That's his
favorite
child.
my favorite breakfast cereal. Have you tried Chakotay?
Honey, put it right in my coffee, baby.
They only make it in Peru.
Hello.
And what is it with Janeway? She doesn't say Chakotay in the early seasons. It's
Chakotay.
It's Chakotay.
Well, Balana says it like
Chakotay.
that. Chakotay. Because
But
they're trying to give it that Tex-Mex feeling.
yeah, but later it's like
Well,
Chakotay.
Balana is Latina, right?
Yeah.
See? And Klingon.
And Groucho Marx.
She's
Check
really
out those
good,
eyebrows.
but she's really good in this episode, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Miss
also
Balana.
she's the only one who the producers deemed to have a really nice wig. They gave her a nice wig.
Well, what about Harry?
Ooh.
Harry paid for his own wig.
Because he got the good hair.
She got the good hair,
Harry with the good hair.
Yeah.
Harry with the good hair. Trust.
So Chakotay, feeling
Looking hot.
wanted, looking hot, takes it upon himself to take a shuttlecraft and go after Seska. That's when Janeway reads Tuvok about security.
Right.
Seska turned them out.
How did we not know that there was a shuttlecraft leaving this ship?
Right. So like
Exactly.
they're Voyager being sloppy right now.
Voyager not like needs to tighten it up. And also, like I get it, like she taunted Chakotay in such a way that she was trying to force his hand, and she does.
Because they have a past.
Because they have a past, like they were lovers.
Lurid.
Yeah, it's a lurid past. Yeah, but what Janeway is saying, you're my second in command. We don't go rogue. We don't do that.
He went rogue, goes after them to get the transporter thing back in this shuttle. And he also sends a message back to Voyager, don't follow me. Okay. Right. So there he is in the shuttle having sort of a battle with Seska and these Kazon fools on the ship.
And what he's trying to do is destroy or recover the Federation technology.
As long as they don't have it. But Seska is matching him move for move.
Yep.
Because they know each other's strategy so well.
Right.
So she's pretty brilliant.
Oh,
yep.
Because she's got Cardassian, Maquis, and Starfleet knowledge about her, and she uses it to the best of her
She's crafty.
Skills. She's really good.
She's also a femme fatale who can clearly wrap mails around her little finger.
But not looking all green in that Cardassian makeup, looking harsh.
But it seemed to work for Brillo Head.
Yeah.
She looked Bajoran at that point.
Right, that's true.
Ridges, ruffles have ridges, whatever.
What I also like is as they are trying to locate Chakotay, B'Elanna and the captain is incensed with him. B'Elanna goes to the captain's ready room
after they get the message.
Right, to kind of stick up for Chakotay and explain why Chakotay is so tortured about this and why he would take it upon himself to do this. And of course, Catherine, she's kind of not having it. She's pushing back lightly.
Not having it at all.
But B'Elanna gets to her. And by the end of that particular conversation, Catherine kind of says, okay, let's deal with this right now. But like she deals with all the crew with such compassion. And I just love it. It's a different style of captain because, you have Picard, who's a diplomat. You've got Shatner, who is a cowboy. You've got Sisko, who's a fucking badass. And you've got Catherine, who's kind of like a scientist and a thinker, but also a woman.
But
and so she's compassionate.
But she's also quite crisp because
she's crisp.
That conversation that Belana has with the captain about Chakotay, where she's saying, you know, Seska humiliated him, and he also wanted to protect the crew from getting involved in this drama that he created.
Right.
And, you know, the captain's like, oh, so he had a personal score to settle.
Anyway.
He had a personal score to settle. Like, that may be true, but that doesn't make it okay.
But what you're saying is he's got a personal score to settle.
That's only part of it.
Maybe. But that doesn't give him the privilege of ignoring this ship's chain of command.
Right.
And, yeah, Starfleet officers don't settle personal
scores. It's a really great scene with some great acting. And by the end of that scene, the captain's like, fuck it, let's go after him.
Let's go after him, and I think we're talking about two different scenes, because you're talking about the scene in the ready room. I'm talking about the scene that she has with him in the captain's lounge.
Oh, okay.
Where she talks about Chakotay and their friendship and blah blah. And by the end of that scene, she's like, okay, B'Elanna, let's find him and then we'll figure it out. But like, she softens, and it's shades of how you see she's going to deal with Seven later on. She kind of like, she is in charge and she's a badass, but
she can compromise.
She can compromise, and she has such compassion. And she, like, I think it's more than just admiration and respect. I think she loves her crew. I think she has love for them.
They're in this really intense situation. They're lost. They only have each other, you know?
And she feels so responsible for them.
So, Booby, what is happening with Chakotay and Seska back on the Kazon ship?
Chakotay getting beat.
He is getting beat.
Oh my
God. And they're trying to get they meaning the Kazon, the Maj, who, by the way, is when he put down his foot with Seska, because Seska tells him that she ordered, she sent out a message to all the other Majes,
all the other houses,
all the mothers of the houses, to come forth in this ball, and the Maj gets incensed that she took it upon herself to do what is his job. And he says, you're just a woman.
You're just a woman.
And you will address me as Maj. And she goes, yes, Maj. You know, she's very like, whatever you say, Maj.
Very submissive.
Very.
Yeah.
I am the leader of this sect. You are only a woman.
Yes, Maj.
I could have hundreds of ships and thousands of soldiers under my command.
Yes, Maj.
I could be the most powerful Kazon in the quadrant.
Yes, Maj.
But she's dialing the knob. She's totally in control.
Totally tweaking the nipple.
Yeah.
The Kazon nipple?
The Kazon nipple that's covered in those you know, Brillo pads.
So you got the Kazon nipple, you got the Kazon Hobai, you got the Kazon Valora, you got the
Hogar. Oh, wait a minute.
The Pendavis.
The Revlon.
The Revlons.
Originally,
the Kazon Gansas.
The Gansas. The Exocias.
The Kazon Revlons. That sounds good.
But we forget that originally he had a Kazon cull come over with his henchmen and discusses the possibility of working together. And at this point, they've already stolen the teleporter technology, transporter technology. Then it cuts to Voyager, and Voyager discovers that they used, per Neelix's speciality of knowing the Kazon, that the Kazon Maj Kula probably
and Seska
have used the transporter to execute this other Maj. And hence showing how shady and how badly the transporting technology could be used to influence, you know,
because Voyager comes upon these two figures floating in space,
floating,
and that's why
they teleported them right out into space.
Yeah,
because you know what? Why you can win.
You can and you can get ahead of the game. People be saying, but no, listen, Booby, you're totally right in that. You're totally right in that. That's why she can't let that technology get out, because it could be abused. I also, just like on a little science note, if you were to beam two bodies into space, not only would they be frozen solid, but they would also have imploded. Like they would have totally imploded.
That didn't happen to Princess Leia in The Last Jedi.
Because she's force
She got the Force.
sensitive. Yeah.
So
Is she a Jedi? No, she's force
She's a Jedi.
No, she didn't become a Jedi.
She's a
not in the films. She doesn't become a Jedi.
Honey,
Because
Luke trained her.
But then
she doesn't have a lightsaber.
Yes, she does.
No, but then she sees that her children might become dark, and she doesn't take the last step.
She does have she has the yellow lightsaber, right?
No, but she doesn't become a Jedi.
She has a lightsaber. She does have a lightsaber.
She does have a lightsaber because they bury it at the end.
Because Rey uses her lightsaber and Luke's lightsaber.
But we digress.
Yes. To end that hideous monstrosity, The Rise of Skywalker.
Which I'm about to watch tonight.
I could never watch it again.
Lou Anakin was watching it yesterday. I talked to her.
It's on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
It's up on Disney.
I've seen it 3 or 4 times to make sure I was disappointed. But getting back to Voyager.
And you were definitely
back to Star Trek.
Back to Star Trek.
We had a little science fiction side note. That's okay.
You can like Star Trek and Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ambidextrous.
By the way, how does Seska talk to the Kazon without a universal translator?
Because she's Seska.
Because she's Seska.
Because she's Seska. Okay. Yeah. She's the most fierce little villainess they got right now.
Yeah.
Much fiercer than the Kazon.
So the Kazons, they're trying to maybe unify to take Voyager apart and get the technology, but they don't really trust each other. And Seska's doing her machinations, and they're beating up Chakotay, who's not having it, and also kind of
trying to get the command codes.
And Chakotay also kind of taunting Seska back and basically calling her a whore to the main
Maj.
But also trying to undermine her authority and relationship with the Maj. It's just it's smart.
Right.
It's smart and true.
Said, when she's done with you, she gonna kill you.
She gonna kill you.
She gonna kill you dead.
You told Seska to beat me.
Honey, Seska told them to beat him.
And they beat him.
And they beat him so lovely.
Lovely.
It's a rather dark episode.
The last 2 episodes had dark moments.
And but Seska also is kind of like sort of flirting with him. And then when he rebuffs her, she's like, oh, it really wasn't that good. Just
it wasn't all that.
She wants him.
Oh, she wants him. She wants him. But so Voyager's on their way to reunite with the shuttle and the Kazon people to get
they've got
back.
This crazy plan about like zooming by at warp and just beaming him out of the ship.
B'Elanna has the crazy plan. And she's like, I've done it before. Yeah. B'Elanna, what ain't you done? Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually like beaming at warp is sort of like impossible, except in the Abrams films they're able to beam at warp, but whatever.
Right. I think somebody threaded her eyebrows at warp because they do look kind of messed up. You're right.
Oh shit, no.
They do look messed up.
Yeah, but I like B'Elanna in this episode a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I think she's on top of it. She's being Chakotay's, best Judy.
She is. She is. And by the way,
solid.
And also, Seska betrayed B'Elanna as well. She was B'Elanna's best friend.
But yes, but she does get a shout out because Seska's like at one point, I'm not a monster. I care about you and Torres and some of the others.
I
love that.
I think she
and some of the others.
Do you think she's trying to maybe recruit them?
No, I think she's saying whatever she has to say to get what she wants.
Right.
She don't give a shit about anybody but Seska.
Right.
Okay. So Voyager's on the way. They're going to try to snatch Chakotay like mid-warp. There's a bunch of other Kazon ships. Tuvok is like, this is going to be fucked up.
Yeah, way too many for us to survive this battle. Yeah.
Y'all gonna gag. We might get turned out.
And Tuvok actually says it would be more prudent to just dash.
Right, because what if they take the whole ship?
And then we've lost all of this technology.
Right. But so what happens is B'Elanna's trying to do the warp thing, and Seska has a modulating shield harmonic photoelectric exosha technobabble thing.
Exosha thing.
Yes. And so they're kind of like battling it out technologically speaking. And then suddenly the captain has an idea.
So B'Elanna is trying to make this work, but they have set up a dampening field not around their entire Kazon ship, but just around Chakotay,
Right,
so that they can't steal Chakotay. But the premise still holds. They can beam people off the ship, just not within this particular field. So the idiots didn't realize they can beam anyone off the ship, and she beams all the captains of the vessels
All the Mages.
All the Mages
all the
off
mothers of the
vessels,
Kazon houses.
because they're all on his ship, and she
Right.
beams them onto her ship, makes their weapons useless, and basically Tuvok is like, okay, so listen,
Y'all about
This
to
is
get
how
chopped.
it's gonna go down.
this is how
Right.
this is gonna go down,
Right.
and that's how it has to go down.
And how does it go down?
Well, he says, you guys are gonna give us back the technology
Mm-hmm.
And the shuttlecraft.
and the shuttlecraft
And Chakotay.
and Chakotay.
Chakotay.
And you and you're gonna stick your
And
Kazon
then-
tails between your legs
And you gonna dash. You
Because
gonna
they
dash.
have tails.
Now I wonder.
Oh yeah.
You know they do. But I
Yep.
wonder, isn't it funny that they did not ask for Seska as well?
Right. Bring us that traitorous bitch.
And give us Seska, and we're gonna throw her in the bridge.
Right.
In the brig.
Throw her in the bridge too. Why not?
Yeah. Throw her off a bridge
Yeah.
on the holodeck.
But so they make the swap. The Kazon house mothers go back to the ballroom where they came from. Chakotay is back on Voyager. They've got the transporter thing. They've got their shuttlecraft. Chakotay is feeling like wounded and embarrassed. And, the captain's like, she's going to have to put him on report. For whatever that means.
Reports.
For whatever that means.
Well, but
And
she actually says if that means anything to
And
you.
he says
Right.
it means something to me because he
It means
does
I
feel
let you
bad.
down.
Yeah,
She says what you did was commendable, but how you did it was not.
Right.
and it wasn't.
And then Tuvok chimes in and says, "Yo, there's a message. Please come to the bridge."
Y'all got a call.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Y'all getting a message. Chakotay, you got a message from Seska. And the captain's like, "You want to take this in your office?"
He's like, no, I had enough time with that bitch alone.
I had enough
Yeah.
time. So they put the message on the view screen, and there's Seska. And she says, "Chakotay, thanks for the chalupa. While you were unconscious, I took some of your
sample of your DNA.
I took a sample of your DNA, honey. Your baddest matter. And I impregnated myself. Congratulations. You about to be a dad. I'm
You're
out.
gonna be a daddy. Bye.
You're going to be a father.
And
It's an
honey,
It's an assault. That's
An assault. But now, is she
It's
really pregnant
grievous.
with his child, or is it Maj Kula's?
Is she? Is
we'll
she?
find
That's
out.
the question.
We
But
will
she-
find out.
She harvested something because after he's getting the beat down, she sticks
She
that
sticks
needle.
that
in his
needle
neck.
up in his neck.
Oh, that long ass needle.
Yep. She's like,
It was
"You
like
gonna-"
a harsh episode.
It was harsh. She
It's harsh.
she got him beat. She took his baby batter out of his neck.
Yeah.
Out of his neck.
She humiliated Captain Janeway and the entire Voyager
Yeah.
crew, and then she dashed.
But then she and it's a final humiliation right at the end because she knows how disgusting Chakotay thinks she is.
She's like,
and now,
"Bye, Chakotay."
yeah, and now she's gonna have his baby.
Oh, she's a
Girl.
foul pig, and I love her.
Love it.
Love
Love her.
Seska.
Love it.
Yes. So I give Maneuvers 4 out of 5 Fire Chakotay.
Wow.
Yep. I thought it was narratively together. I thought the acting was
Yeah.
stellar across the board.
The action
it-
was good.
Action was good. And Seska being shady down.
Being shady.
4 out of 5 Fire Chakotays for me.
I'm gonna give it 4 Leola root.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I give it 3.5.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
what are you deducting for?
I'm not deducting anything. I thought it was really good. I think 3.5 is a fair.
You think it's fair?
You don't
it
have
was
to-
it was cute, but it wasn't all that.
It wasn't a Dr. Kess-driven story for me, and I love those are my 2 favorite characters. And Neelix.
And we do want to keep it sort of parsed out evenly. And
Right.
Yeah.
it was time for a Chakotay story. And my God, Seska, hello.
Hello.
I thought it was really good, and I liked the dark episodes, and I love when Captain Janeway's just like not having it.
But also, look, Chakotay holding the center, the A storyline
Yep.
of this particular episode with great force, as opposed to Harry Kim a couple episodes before with that weird San Francisco episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
That like it was almost somnambulent. I was like, what
And
the
his-
hell's going on here?
And his horrible girlfriend Libby.
with the Groucho Marx eyebrows.
Yeah. What's with the eyebrow game on Voyager?
I don't know.
Maybe
Kids, check out B'Elanna's eyebrows when she walks into the captain's lounge, which is just off the bridge to fight for Chakotay. And dude, I'm telling you, she's giving you Groucho Marx down. Caterpillars down.
I will try to throw an image up for those that are watching. And if you are enjoying this podcast, Fire Chakotay, please feel free to support the content. We are on Patreon and Venmo at Workshop, WERQSHOP, Workshop.
That's right, kids.
Mm-hmm. So this has been a double dip episode of Fire Chakotay. I am Mike Diamond Exosha.
This is Miss Matinga of the Hobai.
And this is Suspiria Booby.
Yes, learn it. Oh, that's a different show.
Yes.